Tournament rolls on from Las Vegas. And coming up in a few minutes, top-seeded Boise State, led by Mountain West Coach of the Year, Leon Rice, gets set to battle Nevada. You are watching Bracket Week, presented by Kubota. From the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas, Nevada, it's quarterfinal day at the Mountain West Tournament, and first up, the 8th seed Nevada takes on top-seeded Boise State. Here's a look at the bracket. First of 4 games today. Nevada playing yesterday in the first round and coming back to beat number 9 New Mexico by 7. And hi everyone, welcome to the Mountain West Tournament. Alongside former Villanova head coach Steve Lapis, I'm Andrew Catalan. Evan Washburn joins us as well. We've been doing this a long time now, Lap, and this could be the best slate of quarterfinal games that we can remember in some time.
Well, you think of it, the top 4 seeds in this tournament are all probably going to the NCAA tournament. Yet, I would be surprised if all 4 make it to the semifinals tomorrow night. That's the kind of balance the Mountain West has this year.
And what a year it's been for Boise State, the outright regular season champions, and they do it with defense, Steve.
Yeah, their defense is one of the best in the entire nation. They have great average size. They're all about 6'6", 6'7", and they all help each other so well. Tremendous chemistry on both ends of the floor. They see the ball, they see their man, and they create transition opportunities. With that defense, it helps them to score.
Meanwhile, Nevada was down 9 yesterday. Grant Sherfield helping lead the comeback. He finished with 27 points.
Preseason player of the year in the league. He ended up on the 3rd team, but he's the kind of point guard that can take over a game and beat you by himself. They have to look out. Boise State has to do a good job defending him because this guy can get it done in a big way.
First of 4 games coming your way today from the Mountain West Tournament. Tip-off next on CBS Sports Network. Away from tip-off between Nevada and Boise State, and before we get it going, we send it over to the 3rd member of our team, Evan Washburn.
Hey, Andrew. Well, as we know, Boise has one of the most balanced offenses in this league, but there's no doubt that they look to Marcus Shaver Jr. to be the most dynamic playmaker. And guys, there was some concern early in the week about his availability. Was a little under the weather. So when the team traveled out to Vegas on Tuesday, Shaver Jr. was not on that flight, was not at practice yesterday, but did fly out separately yesterday. He's feeling better. We were told by Leon Rice that he's good to go. He's in the starting lineup, but it's worth monitoring how he holds up in this game and if the Broncos were to advance through what will be a challenging 3 days.
And Leon telling us, Evan, that he's roommates with Leon's son, Mack, so there was some concern about both of them, but thankfully they appear to be okay. As we take a look at the starting lineups, brought to you by Kubota. We already mentioned Grant Sherfield in our open. Keep an eye on Desmond Cambridge. He went for 31 in the quarterfinals a year ago against Boise State. And Emmanuel Acott, always a threat for the Broncos. Honorable mention, Mountain West selection this season. There's Steve Alford, 3rd year for him at Nevada, coming off the win over New Mexico yesterday. And in his career, Alford 8-3 against Boise State. This is a rematch of the quarterfinals from a year ago when Nevada defeated Boise State 89-82. And in that game, Sherfield, Desmond Cambridge, and Warren Washington scored 75 of Nevada's 89 points.
And that game cost Leon Rice an NCAA tournament bid, so he's in a much better spot this year. He wants to win the Mountain West, but he knows he's going to be in the big dance next week.
And Boise State, a 24-7 record. One more win would tie a school record. And they won their first outright league title since the 87-88 season when they were a member of the Big Sky.
And the first time ever somebody's won it without having a first-team all-league player.
Great point. They do have the Mountain West Freshman of the Year, Tyson Degenhart, and we are underway with Nevada controlling the opening tip.
And be careful to watch this very physical Boise State defense. They don't put pressure on you. They back off a little bit. Actually, Tyson Degenhart not guarding Trey Coleman at all, but they do that. They get the ball inside. Warren Washington, a good inside player, the transfer from Oregon State.
Averaging 10 points per game, and we have an early whistle. And a foul is called on Keenan Blackshear.
And you know, Andrew, they've gone back and forth between Warren Washington and Will Baker, the other 7-footers. They have two 7-footers that both are their third and fourth leading scorers, and they don't play together much.
Here is Degenhart, defended by Blackshear. This will be a jumper from Acott from the wing. It won't go. Tipped out to Sherfield. And Cambridge for three. It's good, and a good start here for the Wolfpack.
And Nevada likes to play fast. They want to push the tempo. Boise State, one of the slower playing teams. You're going to see them look to push it up. Grant Sherfield finds people in transition, and you better find Desmond Cambridge.
You know, we talked to Steve Alford before the game, and he said, I think we have a bit of an edge having played yesterday. This is a Boise State team that has not played since Saturday at Colorado State.
You know, I always feel that way, Andrew. The team that played yesterday feels like they're part of the tournament. There's a travel there, or 3 seconds, actually. I always feel like the team that played has a little bit of an advantage. And there you see Grant Sherfield gets it up quickly over to Desmond Cambridge. You got to find him. He's one of the best three-point shooters in the league.
Our referees today, Mike Cyphers, DJ Nelson, Casey McClellan. Here is Shaver's first shot attempt. He's off the mark, but tipped out. And a fresh shot clock here for the Broncos. Boise State lost its regular season finale at Colorado State on Saturday as Degenhart puts the Broncos on the board.
You know, this is the first chance I've got to see Degenhart live. I'll tell you, that was a pretty good move. This freshman is very much under control. He's a 42% three-point shooter, freshman of the year in the league.
First time in the Mountain West era for Boise State that they've had the freshman of the year.
They are really backing off Trey Coleman, who has really struggled from the perimeter this year.
Blackshear for three, it won't go, and the rebound is secured by Kejab. Degenhart slips through the defense, and Kejab able to locate him.
Yeah, not a team that runs a lot, but that time Nevada fell asleep in transition. One of the things that you're going to see in this game, Boise State's one of the best defensive rebounding teams in the country. They give up very few second shots.
Washington to the hoop, and he is fouled from behind. That's going to go on Mladen Armouche.
You take a look at Boise State here. Now they got it. Trey Coleman's got to get back. You can't let somebody get behind you like that. Not good transition defense.
They actually called that foul on Kejab. And it'll be 2 shots for Warren Washington. A Nevada team that had lost 4 in a row leading into the Mountain West tournament, but a couple of close games, including last Tuesday at Boise State. They were down big, made a comeback. Broncos held on, and that was the win that clinched the title for Boise State.
And then Nevada also lost San Diego State by 1 the last game of the regular season. So this team is playing much better right now.
They were down 18 in that game and came all the way back to within 1 as Acott is fouled, and we check in with Evan.
Well, guys, you've already seen the impact of Tyson Degenhart in this game, and I thought Leon Rice was pretty honest about the fact this team, as successful as this year's been, hit rock bottom at the beginning portion of the season, starting 3-4. And part of the turnaround was putting Degenhart into the starting lineup. He's got a long history with Rice. He played on an AAU team with Leon's son, Cade. in Spokane. He's known him since 8th grade, and he's part of what's really turned this season around and led to a special one there in Boise.
Yeah, Leon telling us everybody bought in when he said they hit rock bottom, and then they won 14 in a row after that.
Give Leon Rice a tremendous amount of credit that he recognized that early, that something's got to give here. He puts him in the lineup, and they go and win 14 straight.
Yeah, Leon Rice said, I knew he had the ability to play as a freshman, but I didn't know how much he'd play, if he'd be able to earn his way to the rotation. Well, he certainly did that. Sherfield is on the board.
You have to, this is the kind of kid, because he has the ball in his hands so much, if he gets going, it could be a long night for Boise State. He could take over a game.
Degenhart almost left his feet. Shaver for three. And doesn't get the bounce. Offensive rebound. Armouche. Putback is there.
Well, one thing about Mladen Armouche, one of the best offensive rebounders in the country, number 23, averages number 1 in the Mountain West, over 3 a game.
Sherfield again, and that is not what Boise State wants to see.
No, because he can make threes. That's not his thing. His thing is these mid-range pull-ups off the dribble.
3 career Mountain West tournament games for Sherfield. He's scored at least 25 in all 3, including 27 in the opening round yesterday against New Mexico, as Shaver turns it over.
And 10 rebounds.
Washington out. Look at the ball movement. Sherfield now dribbles in. He puts up another one. This time it won't go. Boise State won both regular season meetings against Nevada, as Armouche with 2 more.
You know, you see that so often now, that a pick and dive or pick and rim run to the basket. That's what Armouche did there. He does a great job, great hands and a nice finish.
Boise State already with 8 points in the paint. Just under 5 minutes in. Cambridge.
You know, these 2 guards can make life miserable for you. Cambridge had a game this year. We had 36 points. He was 13 for 15 from the field, 7 for 9 from three-point line. This kid can score big also.
That was against Colorado State. He had 7 threes in that game. And that pass got away from Armouche, a turnover, and we have our first timeout. Steve Alford likes what he sees so far, as Nevada is out to a 3-point lead on Boise State. Quarterfinal number 1 on CBS Sports Network. Bracket Week presented by Kubota.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Kubota. Together we do more. By Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, and secure.
Great to be in Vegas in March, and Nevada out to a 3-point lead on Boise State. And what a year it's been for the Mountain West. According to our Jerry Palm, he has the top 4 seeds in this Mountain West tournament, all in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I mean, this league has had an unbelievable year. You see there where the seeds are. You know, some people have thought that Wyoming, with this game with UNLV coming up, needs to win. I'm going to say it's going to be very difficult to drop completely out of the tournament from being a 9 seed.
Steve Alford telling us before the game that he feels this is as good as the league has been since the days when Utah and BYU were in the Mountain West.
Yeah, I mean, as we said, you have 4 teams, top 4 seeds, NCAA tournament teams. Illegal screen there. Yet, I wouldn't be surprised if any of the 4 lost in this quarterfinal round of the tournament.
Yeah, that Nevada foul on Will Baker, the sophomore from Austin, Texas. 3 early fouls on the Wolfpack.
And the funny thing about Boise State, they don't really have a pure point guard. Acop plays point guard. Kejab plays point guard. They kind of mix it up.
Here is Kejab. And trying to fight through contact. A foul is called. That's going to go on Trey Coleman.
The one thing you see with Boise State is just how physical they are. They're one of the top 20 biggest teams in size in the country, and they're also very, very experienced, which Steve Alford was concerned about before the game.
Yeah, how do they handle Nevada? How do they handle the physicality and the experience that Boise State has?
And this year, of all the years, because of the extra COVID year, we're seeing a lot more experienced teams.
Rice, deep three. It's good. Max Rice from the outside.
And he has not had a great year shooting the ball, but he's a very valuable guy to coach his son off the bench.
He began the year 1 of 24 from deep. And since then, he's at 35%. And a whistle and a foul is called against the Broncos.
I mean, this is a deep three off the penetration here on the pick and roll. I mean, he's open, but that's a good 3-4 feet behind the line.
At the other end, Rice is whistled for the foul. Cambridge corner three is good. Desmond Cambridge certainly capable of that. He led the team this year with 84 three-pointers.
Yeah, the transfer from Brown is a real scorer. And the other, he also is 5th in the league in block shots, which is incredible for a guard, and 3rd in steals. I'm shocked, Andrew, he didn't make the all-defensive team.
Yeah, good
really
point.
Surprised.
Acott will try to answer, and he does. 39% from deep this season for Emmanuel Acott.
And you know, this is a good three-point shooting team for Leon Rice. They average 7.5 threes a game, but he's had some teams that average like 9 a game. This is not one of his best.
Baker straightaway three is good. And a hot shooting start for both teams this afternoon.
And Baker is their best three-point shooter by percentage. Desmond Cambridge is the best three-point shooter by numbers, but Will Baker at 7 feet can make those over 40%.
Averaged 2 points per game at Texas, and now better than 11 points this year for Nevada. And then a steal by Baker.
You know, this Nevada team had a disappointing season, but you know, they can have the feeling in them now that they can make up for everything this week.
Sherfield certainly has a hand in that as he hits again. And a 5-point Wolfpack advantage. Here's a look at the defensive numbers from the Wolfpack this season. Armouche lost it. Another turnover by Boise State. Baker throws it down. Timeout, Boise State. How about that move by Will Baker?
That was a pretty move, and Leon Rice not happy with the officials one bit. Nevada off to the great hot start. Will Baker getting it done in the low post. 22-15, Nevada.
Welcome back to Las Vegas here with Boise State head coach Leon Rice. Obviously a run there by Nevada. What was the message to the guys in the huddle?
Well, we got to be more physical because they're going to allow some physical play in the post where they let them climb over you. So we got to be more physical and not let them dictate to us because, you know, they're coming in raking hard. They've called a few of them, but they got to keep calling them because it's a physical game and we're going to take it to them.
Thank you, Coach.
I think that was a subtle shot at the officiating to start this game. It sure sounded like to me, but I think a physical game benefits them. They are the more physical team. I'm not saying that Nevada can't be, but that's kind of who Boise State is. So a physical game, I think, helps Leon Rice.
I really wish that we had you doing in-game interviews when you were a head coach. That would have been television magic. Nevada's on a 7-0 run in the last 54 seconds.
I'd have been salty at that timeout like Leon Rice, I can tell you that.
That's what I'm saying. See how they look out of the timeout. Key jab, puts it up and hits.
I tell you, key jab, Acott, Degenhardt, Armouche, those are 4 strong, physical guys.
Nevada has made its last 5 shot attempts in a row. Nearly a bad turnover by Coleman, but Sherfield helps him out. Sherfield throws up a wild one, and the rebound is secured by Najee Smith. Rice in the paint, nowhere to go, and back out. for a Boise team that averages 69 points per game this year. His defensive numbers eye-popping, though, as a foul is called.
Take a look at Nevada scoring in transition. They like to push the tempo. There's no doubt about it. They're looking to get it up quickly. They're number 43 in the nation in tempo, so they're going to look to get it up quickly and let this guy do his thing, whether it's finding somebody, because he averages over 6 assists a game, making a three, or driving.
Nevada foul was on Baker. That's his second, so he heads out. Washington back on the floor. Now, this is an interesting part of Boise in March is their free throw shooting. As a team, they shoot just 64%, which is in the bottom of the national rankings. However, over the last 13 games, a bit better at 73%.
Yeah, there's only 10 teams that shoot worse free throws than them in the entire nation, so that's always a tough thing, especially getting these close games in March. You're going to have to make free throws, but as you said, making them more now.
Nine minutes into the first half of the first quarterfinal of the day here in Vegas.
That was really good defense there by Boise State. Sherfield came off a couple of screens, and they met him right off those screens.
Foster on the attack. Off glass, no. The tip by Washington.
The big guys in this game for Nevada have been a big factor, both Baker and Washington.
And Foster goes up high for the rebound. Here's Washington. They're actually crediting that last tip to Himes, not Washington. So Washington will take this two.
Great job by Washington running the floor and establishing himself in the post quickly before Boise State could get set on defense.
And now they changed that tip back to Washington. That's the way we had it. So back-to-back buckets now for Washington. Milner with the throwdown. Off the dish from Kijab. Washington turnaround, 3 in a row now for the big guy. Washington's got 9 early points.
Now you think about it, the two centers between them have 14 points.
And a foul is called on KJ Himes.
You take a look at Boise's jacket. Watch Milner here. Watch Milner right there, and he's going to dive to the basket, and Nevada late in finding him right there. They give a little help. Foster gives too much help, and he's open.
(13-5) run by the Wolfpack. They'd open up an 8-point advantage. Akot trying to chip into it. That one won't go. Offensive rebound, Kijab.
They got to get Shaver going a little bit. But truth of the matter is, they've given up 28 in 11 minutes. That's a lot of points.
Shaver had a great look and missed it. He's now 0 for 4 to start the day. Sherfield weaving through traffic. Then a bad pass down low and a turnover. Yeah, Shaver up ahead of the pack with Himes there, and a foul by Himes.
Yeah, he had 6 turnovers in the last game against Boise State Grand Sherfield, so he's got to be a little stronger with the ball. But the fact that Nevada has 28 points, Boise State gives up 60 points a game.
Yeah.
To have 28 at this point, defense hasn't been good.
Second foul on Himes. And the 7th team foul on Nevada, so Boise State is shooting the rest of the half. 2 fouls in 2 minutes for KJ Himes.
I mean, Nevada shooting 75%.
They shot 56% in the second half yesterday against New Mexico. Well, Werner Latter is the proud title sponsor of the Naismith Coach of the Year Award. Join us over Final Four weekend as we highlight this year's winners right here on CBS Sports Network.
Well, you know, in both the games they played during the regular season, Nevada shot 50% in both those games. Now, they had some turnovers which hurt them, which is why they lost. But they had been able to score against Boise State's half-court defense.
Blackshear bounces it to Himes, playing with 2 fouls, defended by Kejad. Blackshear now for 3. And Shaver goes up to get it.
Terrible pass.
It'll stay with Boise State. Nearly the 6th turnover of the half by the Broncos. Cambridge back on the floor along with Tyson Degenhart. Steve Alford gets one more guy out there. Trey Coleman will give Grant Sherfield a break as we approach the media timeout.
Yeah, that's you want to take him out just little as you have to. Good time to get him out with a little rest with 19 seconds to the media.
He averages 35 minutes a game, and there is the 6th Bronco turnover.
That had to be a foul. Leon Rice is beside himself.
Blackshear lobs it for Washington. That was a tough, ambitious pass.
Yeah, Kejad did a great job there being physical on that lob.
Shaver from the outside. And the offensive board to Degenhart. And then a steal. 7th turnover. Cambridge, and a foul is called. Boise State wanted a charge. They're not going to get it. And we're going to go to a timeout. Back and forth we go, but a good start for Nevada, the number 8 seed, looking to pull the upset against top-seeded Boise State.
Back in Vegas here with Nevada head coach Steve Alford. Hot start offensively, coach. Nearly 75% from the field. What's working?
Well, we're moving the ball. We're not turning over, and I like our energy defensively. I think we're mixing it up. We're getting some deflections and getting out in transition where we've established a good pace of going inside out.
Coach, thanks for the time.
I appreciate it.
All right, Evan, thank you very much. And Steve, we talked about this during the timeout. It just feels like Nevada has that look of a team that played yesterday. They're in the flow here in the first half.
100%. And Steve, we talked about that with Steve Alford before the game, that whenever you're in a tournament and you have a game under your belt and the other team's playing their first game, there's always a little bit of nerves. And there's no doubt Nevada came out loose and hard. And not to say Boise State's been bad, but they haven't been up to their normal standards, especially on the defensive end of the floor.
And look, the players change all the time, but it's a Boise State program that has not had a lot of success here at the Mountain West tournament.
They've had a lot of major disappointments that cost them NCAA tournament bids in the last 3 years. Because Leon Rice has always had his team in position coming into this weekend to get into the tournament, and they haven't been able to get over that hump.
They've never advanced to the Mountain West championship game. They are 0-3 all time in the Mountain West semifinals. This, a quarterfinal game today.
Wow, that was an aggressive double team there.
That one was kicked. How about the Nevada defense so far?
Well, you know, Boise State averages 12 a game. Turnovers, they have 7 now, but they're very active. They're giving a lot of help. I think there were a couple of situations where Boise State, like that one, tried to do too much. But give Nevada credit, and they haven't been great defensively all year. It's been their problem. They can score defensively. They have not been good all year, especially defending the three-point shot.
Acott for 3. Yes. Got a big shot for Boise State.
Yeah, one thing about Nevada, you look at their stats, they make 7.5 threes a game. They give up 9.5. That is a huge number of threes. They haven't defended the three well all year.
Second 3 for Acott here in the first half. Cambridge trying to squeeze a pass to Washington, and he turns it over. 2-on-1 the other way, and Degenhart lays it in.
You know, Degenhart, it was a good pass, but he's so smooth, very much under control. Wow, that's got to be something.
That's the look that Sherfield gave as well.
That has to be something.
Nevada in a 3.5-minute scoreless drought. It's a 7-0 run for Boise State. Cambridge can't end the run.
All of a sudden, Boise State, a little more pep in their step. Great double team there.
Shaver to the rescue. Shaver step back. Yes!
It's a
And
good
a timeout called by Nevada. First Boise State lead of the afternoon. 29-28, Broncos in front. A 9-0 run for Boise State. Well, now it's Steve Alford who's not happy with the officiating and not happy with his team's play the last few minutes as the Broncos have gone on a 9-0 run.
Well, it looks like Boise State, the last 3 minutes, has all of a sudden got themselves into this game defensively. They look a little looser than they did in the beginning of the game.
A drought approaching 4 minutes for the Wolfpack. Steve Alford has twice won the Mountain West Tournament title, both times with New Mexico back in 2012 and 2013. Let's see what they do out of the timeout, trying to stop the run. Got it in the hands of Sherfield. Over to Cambridge.
This defense looks much more engaged right now, I have to tell you.
Here's Washington. He's had a big first half. Trying to go around Armouche, and the shot won't go.
Tough shot. Armouche did a great job making him shoot over him and not letting him get around him.
Five minutes to go in the opening half. Acott jumper. Wow, he's had a good first half here. 9 points now for Acott. He averages 10 per game.
Yeah, the Arizona transfer, 6'7", can shoot over people.
Sherfield, offensive foul.
Boy, this game has really turned quickly. It was an 8-point lead for Nevada. And here, let's see, that's good defense. Tyler Degenhart absolutely there in time. Tyson Degenhart.
3-point Boise State lead, inside 5 to play. Acott feeling it.
Big time.
Emmanuel Acott on fire here in the first half.
An 8-point lead to a 6-point deficit. And it started on this end. It's the defense that Boise State's playing right now.
Nevada desperately needs a bucket. Coleman can't give him one. Washington the offensive board. Cambridge for 3. Big one there. Had to have it. That stops a 14-0 run.
You know, you see that all the time, the offensive rebound. Now everybody's scrambling for the ball, and you leave the really good three-point shooter alone. And he made him pay.
Cambridge in double figures. He's got 11. Shaver. And the weak side rebound to Cambridge.
And Nevada, they got to try and get something easy because in the half court, it has not been easy.
And a foul is called on Acott, and that takes us to a timeout. But what a first 20 minutes for Emmanuel Acott at Boise State. Back in Vegas, coming up, AT&T at the half. Join Brent Stover, Renee Montgomery, Pete Gillen, Gary Parrish for a look around college basketball. Highlights, stats, analysis, all coming up on AT&T at the half. Take a look around the world of college basketball today. Big win for Indiana over Michigan at the Big Ten tournament. Toledo held on in the Mack tournament, and Providence survived a scare against Butler in New York City at the Big East tournament.
I can tell you now, Juwan Howard is not going to sleep peacefully tomorrow night. They may be in, but boy, it's going to be touch and go. And how about being in those mid-major leagues? I was in the mid-major league. We won the regular season. It was a one-bid league, the Mack, and we lost in the championship game at the buzzer. Let me tell you something. There's no worse feeling than to be in a one-bid league and lose in the championship game when you were the first seed.
And look at Rick Pitino yesterday at Iona, knocked out by Ryder. And a travel is called on Boise State. That is their 8th turnover.
Boise State's done a great job so far. They've only forced 5 turnovers by Nevada, but they've got 12 points off those 5 turnovers. That's been big in this game so far.
Blackshear. Missed it in tight, and the rebound to Rice. Pavle Kuzmanovic onto the floor for Boise State. Kijab gonna put one up. Armouche with the rebound, but he misses the follow. Meanwhile, Nevada started 12 out of 16 from the floor. Since then, they are 1 for 11 after that miss by Sherfield. But still only down by 3 with 2.5 to go in the first half. Kuzmanovic traveled, turnover number 9. This is a Boise State team that averages just under 12 turnovers per game, and they already have 9 in the first half.
Yeah, they've been solid all year, but you got to give Nevada credit. I think the activity and the athleticism of Nevada has definitely bothered Boise State in this game.
Acott back on the floor for the Broncos, and Daniel Foster returns for Nevada. Cambridge already with 11 points here in the first half.
Kijab has been tough on Cambridge.
Moose goes up high to get that rebound. Kijab all the way to the hoop for 2. Strong move by Kijab.
Strong physical move. He was daring people to hit him.
Sherfield behind the back pass, and Cambridge wasn't ready for it. And Craig Neal, the associate head coach, telling Nevada, slow down.
I mean, that was a physical drive, as you're going to see, because without a doubt, Daniel Foster was all over his body, and it didn't even faze him on the first part of that drive. And now, you see, I thought they were going zone, but they're still man-to-man.
And a whistle and a foul called on Boise State. Foster thought he was getting called for it, but instead it's on the Broncos, and it's the second on Kijab.
Yeah, they got to take him out absolutely for the rest of the half. It's only 1:27 to go.
During the 16-3 run that Boise State is currently on, you see Nevada just 1 of 12 from the floor with 3 turnovers.
And you know what? It's not them missing. It's Boise State making them miss. Sometimes you miss, Boise State's making them miss.
Sherfield, nice spin move down low on Rice. 8 points in the first half for Grant Sherfield. Final minute of the first half. Shot clock down to 6. Shaver bounces it to Acott. Acott feeling it here in the first and gets the bounce. Everything going his way. He's got 14 points.
You know what I like about that possession? They didn't panic at all with the shot clock running down. They got the ball into the guy's hands they wanted, and he was able to make a shot.
And a foul. With 19.7 left, Max Rice is called for the foul.
You take a look at Emmanuel Acott there. He knows exactly what's going on the shot clock, puts it off softly, goes in. They're going to hold for the last shot now, Nevada.
10 seconds left. Sherfield using the Cambridge screen. Now with 3 seconds left. Sherfield for 3 off the mark. And at the horn, Dagenhall. No. Back and forth first half. And at the break, Steve Alford's Wolfpack down by 5. Top-seeded Boise State. 17-1 when leading at the half this year. Coming up after the break, it's AT&T at the half. You're watching Bracket Week presented by Kubota. You are watching Bracket Week presented by Kubota at the half. Boise State leads by 5. Some of the first half numbers, 10 turnovers for the Broncos. Rebounds, interesting. Boise State 19, Nevada only 9. And back courtside with Steve Lapis, I'm Andrew Catalan. We'll hear from Evan Washburn momentarily. Nevada led by 8 in that first half. What flipped for Boise State?
Their defense. They got a feel for the tournament. I think they had some nerves early, but when they started getting loose and playing the way they want to play, physically on defense, that's when the game flipped around. It makes a big difference to have played yesterday. They come out. I think now that's all done. Now everybody's into the flow of the game.
Time now for our Geico difference makers, and no doubt Emmanuel Acott a difference maker for Boise State. 14 in the first half.
Yeah, he's been terrific. I mean, this kid can shoot the 3. He's big, he's physical, he can post up, he faces, and then Desmond Cambridge, he's doing his thing, and what he needs to do is make 3 threes so far. But the problem for Nevada, Andrew, in this game is they've got 4 guys only have scored in the whole game.
Let's check in with Evan.
Well, Andrew just spoke with Steve Alford about his priority for the second half, and he pointed to settling down offensively. Shot selection was a key for them coming into this game. Felt like they were taking some quick shots when things shifted in the back half of that first half. And Emmanuel Acott, priority number 1 defensively. Have to press out on him, according to Alford, guys.
Yeah, no doubt about that, as Acott launches a 3, and this one halfway down and out.
Well, you know, when the team starts playing physical defense on you, it can take your patience away, and that's what they can't allow to happen. And they need to get a guy like Blackshear going. As I said before Evan came on, only 4 guys scored in the first half, but really only 3 positions, because Will Baker and Warren Washington don't play together, and they are the 5 spot. So the 1, the 2, and the 5 were the only spots that scored. The 3 and the 4 got to get something done in the second half here.
Washington on the lob, and he gets it to go. Wasn't pretty, but it counts. Washington in double figures for the 5th time this season, all 3 against Boise State. Key jab, left alone, and hits.
I mean, way too easy that time.
41-35.
Good cut.
And Cambridge with the jam. Cambridge with 13 points. A lot of energy to start this second half here in Vegas. DJ on the attack to the hoop and missed it. Cleared off the glass by Blackshear, and numbers for Nevada if they hurry. Cambridge steps into a 3. Rebound fought for, good hustle by Washington, but Boise State comes away with it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great look by Desmond Cambridge.
Armouche to the hoop, and with the left hand, he scores.
Strong move.
Six points, 4 rebounds from Mladen Armouche, the senior from Serbia. Sherfield for 3. And Sherfield has not got it going from the outside. He is 0 for 2 so far today. Shaver, nice move down low, but now trapped, nowhere to go, and turns it over. Cambridge up ahead, Sherfield lays it in.
And that was really, really good defense by Trey Coleman that time.
Key jab quickly the other way, misses the scoop shot. Fight for it, and a tie-up is called. Possession arrow favors Nevada.
You take a look at number 4 here, Desmond Cambridge. Watch him right here. You're going to see Warren Washington dribble at him, and he's going to make the hard cut to the basket. So he makes like he's going to pop out, and then he makes a nice cut, dribble at him, layup.
$11 turnovers today by Boise State. Blackshear corner 3, short.
Boy, they need to get him going. He played very well in the game on March 1st. He had 16 points.
Shaver counted in 1. Shaver missed 6 of his first 7 shots, but he connects here.
You know, Boise State doesn't run much, but they are really good when they do. That's been they only run about 11% of the time, but are very good in transition.
Second foul on Sherfield, and Blackshear goes out. He has really struggled today. He is 0 for 5 from the floor.
Yeah, as I said, Andrew, they got to get something from Trey Coleman, Blackshear, somebody else besides the 5 spot, Cambridge, and Sherfield.
Shaver, second team All Mountain West. As we check in with Evan.
Well, Laugh, just something that came up with Leon Rice at halftime. I asked him about the style of the second half in terms of pace, and I was surprised by his answer. He said he wants to actually play fast, off of turnovers. He wants these guys to get out and run.
And, you know, that's the funny thing is that they are 3-11 for the year in tempo, but when they do run, they're very effective at it, and that's what they've done.
They tried to run there off the turnover, but instead they'll have to reset with a 7-point lead. Bad pass by Degenhart, and a turnover again by Boise State. Cambridge will go to the line.
Yeah, that was a tough pass by Degenhart. He kind of lost the ball there. Shaver really with good hustle getting back. Where's the foul? He's looking around like, really? I have to agree with you, Marcus.
Called for his first foul. Cambridge at the line. Don't forget, coming up next here on CBS Sports Network, UNLV in their home building taking on Wyoming. That should be a good one next on CBS Sports Network.
Yeah, they beat them last week, too. UNLV beat Wyoming last week, so...
Wyoming has lost 19 consecutive games against UNLV in Las Vegas.
And if you haven't seen Bryce Hamilton, the big score, 21 a game, one of the leading scorers in the country, you're in for a treat.
Winner of this one will take on the winner of that one tomorrow in the semifinals. Shaver connects.
He's a tough player, that kid.
Cambridge launches way off. Degenhart the rebound. And you can see what Evan was talking about. Boise State looking to push a little bit.
Yeah, Shaver went over the bench on that one, trying to save it.
Degenhart off the front of the rim.
Yeah, they got to get Coleman, Blackshear, somebody else to do something.
Sherfield hits that one. He's got a dozen. But Coleman and Blackshear, to your point, Steve, have combined for nothing. No points for either one. He jabs 3, won't go, and the rebound to Sherfield. Blackshear hops off the bench. He'll check in next whistle.
It's a whole lot easier guarding 3 guys rather than 5.
Nice move.
There's Sherfield there in transition. Got him backpedaling, attacks the basket. Not good transition defense that time.
Couple of quick ones for Sherfield, and Nevada back within 4. Here's Aycock. Draws the double, locates Kejab, extra pass Degenhart, but good defense there by Baker. Now 3 to shoot. Kejab all the way.
You know, that's one of the problems when you double team the post. They reversed the ball and just never got set defensively, and that's what allowed that drive to happen.
Sherfield from the free throw line. He's made 3 in a row.
He got a lot of lift out of his legs on that one.
Capable of heating up in a hurry. Twice this year he scored at least 30 points in a game, including 30 Saturday in the regular season finale against San Diego State. Shaver is fouled, and for Baker, that'll be his 3rd. Timeout with 14:01 to go. Second half, Boise State leads it by 4. Time now to get to the good stuff, brought to you by Tostitos. How about the effort and hustle of Marcus Shaver so far today?
Boy, he can really attack. He's got 5 rebounds. How about him jumping over the bench here to try and save that? I mean, that's some big time hustle.
And as Evan reported, a little bit under the weather this week, flew separately from the team, and there was a couple of questions about whether he'd be okay. Certainly looks okay with the way he's running all over the floor.
Yeah, he's a guy who hustles. He does so many things for them. How about this year? He's made 4 shots in the last 4 threes in the last 30 seconds of games that have either put them ahead or tied the game. 3 of them in the last 10 seconds. This kid is a clutch money player.
And he's at the free throw line for 2 shots.
I mean, he's the only guy that plays on this team that's under 6'5".
Second team All Mountain West. State team that in the last AP poll was number 26. They had the most receiving votes of any team that was not in the top 25.
Now something we haven't seen before. 1-2-2 3/4 court press.
So far this second half, Sherfield has 8 points on 4 out of 5 shooting. The rest of the pack only 5 points, and they're 2 for 5.
And he's got a guy on him like Acott, who's tall and a tough guy, tough defender.
Baker for 3. Had a great look, but couldn't knock it down.
And, you know, Sherfield draws that kind of attention, and other people are open, and they got to make a shot.
Shaver splits the D. Fouled, and he'll go right back to the line. Blackshear picks up his 2nd foul.
You know, Shaver's a guy who can make threes, but he gets to the free throw line. He shot 95 foul shots this year, so he gets there, averages over 3 free throws a game.
And really a non-factor in the first half. He was 1 for 7, but he has come to life here in the second half. Well, how about the Conference USA semifinals tomorrow coming up on CBS Sports Network? There's a look at the bracket. We'll bring it to you tomorrow right here on CBS Sports Network. 8-point Boise State advantage.
They've got to attack this pressure. Maybe it opens the floor up for them a little bit. They've got to go.
Baker comes out to set a screen.
I mean, as long as you don't help off of Cambridge, you can take a chance on the rest of these guys.
Yeah, no. Shot by Blackshear. He's now 0 for 6.
Yeah, the way Boise State is loading up on Cambridge and Sherfield, if these other guys don't get something going, it's going to be very hard for those guys to just carry them the last 12 minutes.
Acott, baseline.
Oh,
that's goaltending. Baker got a hand on it.
And that wasn't going in. That was a gift.
Count the 2 for Acott. He's got 16.
Yeah, that was short all the way.
Sherfield, his shot was altered. Acott got a hand on it.
I'll tell you, Acott and Kijab, they are really tough defenders at their size and their length. Very tough.
Largest lead of the day for Boise State. They're riding an 8-0 run.
And if you wonder why they're such a good team defending the 3, when you got wings that big, you're going to defend the 3 well.
Rice with 5 to shoot. Rice underhands it in.
For good old Dad.
How about that? And the lead is up to 12. Timeout, Nevada. Mad Max. What a bucket down low for Max Rice and the Broncos. Feeling it here in the first quarterfinal of the day. Rice with a beauty on CBS Sports Network.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Tostitos. Get to the good stuff. And by Werner, the official ladder of NCAA March Madness.
Back in Vegas, a 10-0 run for Boise State. They lead it by a dozen. If the Broncos go on to win, they'll take on the winner of our next game, Wyoming. They're here, and they'll take on UNLV. That game is next on CBS Sports Network. Running Rebs in their home building, ready to roll. With our producer, Jonathan Siegel, director Andy Goldberg, Mike Pittman, Mark Schaefer. We've got a great crew here on CBS Sports Network. Thank you for joining us. With 11:35 to go, and Leon Rice trying to move his Broncos on to the semifinals. This half, Boise State 7 out of 12, and they have pushed the lead up to 12. Where does Nevada turn here, Steve?
Well, you know, they got to get somebody else going besides Sherfield. They got to get Cambridge a little bit. He has been quiet here in the second half.
Tried to feed it down low to Himes, and he is whistled for the foul. And we're going right back to a timeout. Boise State looking for their 25th win of the season. You are watching Bracket Week presented by Kubota. Boise State up by 12 as we send it over to Evan Washburn.
Yeah, guys, Boise State in control, but early in the week they didn't know who they were going to play, so it was a lot of work on themselves, and it also included some motivation from a first-class individual, Chuck Pagano, the former NFL head coach of the Indianapolis Colts, longtime coach in the league, and personal friend of that man, Leon Rice. They're golf buddies, guys, and he came and spoke to the team on Monday, and the message was focus on yourselves, on your team, and he told some great stories about greatness and reflecting on his time. Because you think about it, Chuck Pagano was in the locker room and coached the likes of Ray Lewis and some of those legends with the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, I heard he was a first-class guy.
That told the team about Ray Lewis and how he would prepare for the postseason, hoping to inspire this Boise State team. And based on some reports I've heard from the Philadelphia area, I'd like to think that Leon and Chuck Pagano's golf game is in better shape than my partners here right now.
Yeah, you're right. It has to be.
And a foul is called against Boise State. I thought Leon also made a really good point to us. He was talking about the competitiveness of his team and how they hate to lose. And he pointed to the regular season finale at Colorado State. Boise State had already locked up the league. They had nothing to play for in that game. Colorado State senior night, and those guys went out, and he said, we competed our tail off and almost beat the Rams on their senior night.
You know, you don't have this kind of year without having very competitive guys that are tied in. That was a big shot.
Finally for Blackshear, his first bucket of the day.
Because now it started to lay off of him, so he's going to get open looks because he hasn't made anything.
Aycott spinning on Sherfield, and too strong, out of bounds. And it will stay with Boise State. Steve Alford doesn't like it. 9 seconds on the shot clock.
You got to go.
Key jab puts it up and rejected by Blackshear. Shot clock violation is called.
Great defense that time by Nevada. You can't get much better than that. Blackshear.
Midway through the second half. And Nevada looking for some offense.
This team really forces you to the sideline.
Cambridge lost it. Turnover number 10 by the Wolfpack. Degenhart back on the floor for Boise State as you see the turnover here by Cambridge.
I love the way Boise State really forces you out of the middle of the floor and wants you to go to the baseline where you can get some help.
What a second half it's been for Shaver so far. 9 points, 2 of 2 from the floor, and 5 of 5 at the free throw line. This was after a 4-point first half that saw him shoot just 1 for 7. He's got it here, looking for more. And the rebound secured by Washington.
This kid draws a lot of attention, Sherfield.
Washington turnaround, too strong in the rebound to Armouche.
And there you saw the physicality again, Andrew, that they pushed Warren Washington, who's not the strongest guy, out. He started out at 6 feet, ended up at 8 or 9 feet.
Foul's called on Sherfield. That's his third. Sherfield was saying, was that foul on me?
And that's what they're going to go look at. Yeah, that's his foul.
Yeah.
He fouled.
Confirmed. And a foul called on Nevada. A little extra there with Himes and Armouche. This foul's going to go on Blackshear. His third. And now 6 team fouls against the Wolfpack. So Boise State, the rest of the half, will go to the free throw line. There's a look at the foul trouble for the Wolfpack. 4 players with 3 apiece. Degenhart down low, working on Washington. Counted and one. The freshman will have a chance at 3.
You take a look. Great move here by Degenhart, but it was a nice out-of-bounds play with a good screen that got him the ball in deep like that.
Leon Rice telling us he hasn't had a freshman like Degenhart, mature beyond his years. He said he makes everyone around him better. He makes good decisions with the basketball.
Well, look at him, Andrew. He's 4 out of 5 from the field, so he's only taking shots that he makes. And then he's also got 6 rebounds, 3 assists. I mean, this kid he's just out there being a part of something and never making a mistake.
Sherfield to the basket and the foul. And Nevada needs more of that. Sherfield now has 18.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, this kid, you get Armouche taking him into the basket there. I don't think that's a foul, I got to be honest with you. He just had his arms straight up in the air.
Second foul called against Armouche. Sherfield completes the 3-point play, and some pressure here from the Wolfpack.
Nevada trying to change this thing up a little bit. Interesting, they got Degenhart in the back bringing it up, so that tells you what Leon Rice thinks about Degenhart.
8.5 to go. Good defense by Blackshear, got a hand on it. Sherfield the other way. Trying to get around Rice. Armouche greets him, and a foul is called.
I thought he warded off with his left hand.
Third foul on Armouche.
Take a look at Blackshear right here. He gets himself in good position, good help position there to make this steal. Good job there by Keenan Blackshear.
Really sloppy in the turnover department for Boise State today. 15 of them. They average under 12 per game. Aycott back in. Shaver will get a breather. 20 points for Sherfield. It's the 15th time this year he scored at least 20 in a game. 7-point advantage for Boise State. Nevada has scored the last 5 points.
Oh. And here's where not having a pure point guard with the pressure coming could hurt a little bit. These guys, no one on Boise State has a great assist-to-turnover ratio. Kejab and Aycott both turn the ball over a lot.
2 on the shot clock. Aycott has to force one up, and he's fouled with the shot clock at 1. Wow, Steve Alford can't believe it. Blackshear commits the foul, and that's his 4th. Boise State will shoot free throws when we come back. Bad one there by Blackshear. Let's see who stepped up their game. Brought to you by Werner Ladder, and in the first half, Emmanuel Aycott, 14 points, including 3 threes. Been a bit slower in the second half. He only has 2 points, but Boise State still in front.
Well, you know, like both good teams, he only has 2 in the second half, but Marcus Shaver has picked up his slack. So they've got multiple weapons in their starting 5, and again, that's what the good teams need to have.
2 shots coming for the Broncos, and they lead it by 7. If they pick up the win today, they will match the school record for wins in a season with 25. It's been done twice before, back in the 07-08 season and again in 14-15. Aycott missed 4 Mountain West games with a knee injury. Did have 23 at Nevada back in January. As we check in with Evan.
Well, guys, it doesn't matter how long you do this, you still see something new. I was looking at the Boise State players on their waistband, and some of the players will flip it to make the shorts a little bit higher. They actually have a play sheet, a la a football quarterback. So instead of calling out a play for inbounds, the sideline can call out a number, so the opposing team can't scout the calls. I've never seen that lap. You've been doing this for a long time, but that's unique.
Oh, Baker with the jam.
No, I've never seen that, and I don't know, they must change their calls every game, I guess. That's why they have it in there, is the only way I could. You know, we used to have calls, and you watch enough tape, you'll get the other team's calls. But yeah, that's a pretty innovative thing I've never seen. Nor have I been around a guy like Evan Washburn that could dig up something like that either. You know?
That's a good point. A little worried about Evan's hair today because it was so windy here in Vegas, but it's intact. Shot clock at 1. Aycott's 3 won't go. Long rebound tracked down by Sherfield. Sherfield all the way, coast to coast for 2.
So dangerous when he's attacking and you're backpedaling because he is so shifty with the ball.
23 points for Sherfield, 10 of 17 from the floor. And the lead is down to 4, and Leon Rice wants to stem the tide.
Well, Nevada getting back into this thing, led by a tremendous point guard, Will Baker with the flush there. And then getting it up in transition, this team back in it, down 4.
We are back with a look at our bracket, and we got 4 games coming your way today on CBS Sports Network. Up next, Wyoming against UNLV. Semifinals tomorrow on CBS Sports Network, and the championship game Saturday on CBS. And there is Wyoming, all dressed and ready to go. They'll take the floor next against UNLV.
I'll tell you one thing that Nevada has to do. They're getting crushed on the glass. They got to make sure that they keep Boise State to one shot.
9-1 run for the Wolfpack with 6.5 to go. Shot clock at 5. Degenhart puts one up. Offensive rebound, Armouche.
One of the best in the country at that.
But then Shaver almost turns it over. Armouche to the ground. And a tie-up possession arrow favors Boise State.
Yeah, great hustle there.
Steve Alford yelling at his team, rebound. You said it, Steve, but they are getting out-rebounded by 11 today.
Yes, that's going to be huge here if they're going to get back into this game. They're down 4. If they're going to win this game, they're going to have to rebound.
Shaver, nice dish to Acott. 19 for Emmanuel Acott. His career high is 24 against St. Bonaventure earlier this year. Cambridge catch and shoot. And a rebound, Acott.
Yeah, I didn't like that one, even though obviously he's a great shooter. Little rush that time. Defense was on him.
Once again, the shot clock inside 10 and a foul by Coleman on the perimeter. A couple of times here lately with the shot clock winding down that Nevada has bailed out Boise State with a foul.
And that's what's frustrating Steve Alford on that sideline there. I mean, it's the second time in the last 3 minutes that with the shot clock winding down and looking like Boise State's got nothing, you foul them.
Instead, Shaver's back at the line. Now, earlier we made a point to tell you about Boise State's free throw struggles this season. 64%, and it shows up here.
And there's a guy who's probably their best free throw shooter, 76%.
Sherfield is fouled. And Sherfield went out for those few seconds in the first half before the under-8 timeout. I don't think he's come out since.
And I don't think he's coming out.
As Acott picks up his second foul, Sherfield is at the free throw line. After the game yesterday against New Mexico, Sherfield said that he was excited for this game. He said, I like playing against tough teams. And this season, Nevada has struggled. They went 0-10 against the top 5 teams in the Mountain West. But a golden opportunity today as Sherfield rattles that one in, and the lead is back down to 4.
And here's that pressure again.
Five minutes to go. A spot in the semifinals on the line. Acott thought about a 3. Now he'll put it up and hits. What a day for Acott.
Wow, that was a tough shot and a big shot.
His 4th 3 of the game.
I mean, it looked like they were well defended that time by Nevada.
Cambridge trying to answer. And a foul called inside. That's going to go against Boise State. How about Acott, though, today?
Yeah, I mean, his shot fakes, side steps. Right here, gives a shot fake, little side step, knocks down the 3.
Trey Coleman is at the free throw line. This is a 1-and-1. First point of the day for the sophomore from Jeffersonville, Indiana.
I know they like his defense, but it's really tough when you play a guy 30 minutes and he's got 1 point.
Washington back out there for the Wolfpack with 4.5 to go. Big free throws there for Trey Coleman. Aycott in the zone today. Will it continue here? No, way off, and then a foul inside is called against Armouche. And Washington is slow to get up, grabbing the left side of his face. Armouche making sure he's okay.
Yeah, Armouche.
Tangled up down low.
Yeah.
And
they're going to take a look at that.
Yep, and for Armouche, that's his 4th foul.
You know, when you see a kid apologize a couple of times, chances are something happened.
And we'll take a timeout as well with 4:07 to go. Good one here to kick off our quarterfinal day at the Mountain West Tournament. Coming up next, the Inside College Basketball crew talks all things conference tournaments as they break down matchups, highlights, and projections as bracket week continues here on CBS Sports Network. And while we were away, they said it's just a common foul, nothing extra on Armouche, although it is his 4th foul.
Yeah, that's a good non-flagrant call, common foul.
Look at our game reset, each team with 2 timeouts remaining. Both teams to the line on a foul, and right now Nevada getting set to do a 1-and-1. There's a look at the foul trouble. Blackshear and Armouche with 4 apiece.
And Nevada getting outplayed really in the second half. It looks like it, and here they are sitting in the position where they might only be down 3.
Washington makes the front end of a 1-and-1.
And Nevada is a very good free throw shooting team.
And Najee Smith is back on the floor. Armouche will come out with the 4 fouls and 4:07 to go, so we'll keep an eye on how long Leon Rice keeps him there.
Yeah, he's got to sit out at least, I'd say, a minute and a half.
Big free throws from the big man, Warren Washington, who's had a nice afternoon. He's got 13 points to go along with 5 rebounds. Aycott. Bad pass, intercepted by Coleman.
You know, that's one of the weaknesses you see from Boise. They don't have a pure point guard. Aycott and Kijab have kind of been manning that position all year, but they don't have great assist-to-turnover ratios.
16 turnovers today. Sherfield locates Coleman.
They're daring Coleman to shoot.
Washington. Nice turnaround, but it's short. And the rebound to Aycott.
Yeah, that was a pretty good opportunity there.
Aycott thought about going at Sherfield, backs it up. Boise State using some clock right now as we approach 3 to play. Now Kijab on the attack. Oh, what a finish! Power move by Kijab.
He's been a load off the dribble. He's gotten that move to the basket a few times in this game.
The lead up to 5. Sherfield to Coleman. Had an open look, passed on it. Now in trouble. Smith knocked it away. Sherfield retreats. Still time on the shot clock. Sherfield for 3. And a whistle and a foul is called. That's going to go on Boise State.
You see Boise State here. Kijab has been able to go to the basket a number of times in this game.
Foul was on Shaver. And a 1-and-1 for Desmond Cambridge. Missed it.
Big miss there.
And a shrug from Steve Alford. That was a big miss with 2.5 to play. Shaver, and a foul was called before the shot. Sherfield called for his 4th.
Well, you can't take him out. It's 2:27 to go. It's now or never for sure.
And he's bringing back Blackshear, who's got 4 fouls, and Baker, who has 3 fouls. Now or never for Nevada. One more for Shaver, who's had a nice second half. And for the game now, has 14 points. And he's 9 out of 10 at the free throw line today.
He's the right guy to get to the foul line.
Lead is up to 7. And the Boise State fans making some noise here in Vegas. Baker had a 3, didn't take it. Coleman for 3. It's good. And Steve Alford calls timeout.
And they've been leaving Trey Coleman alone the whole day. Makes his first basket, the 3-point shot right there. He was wide open. Give him credit, 24% 3-point shooter, knocks that one out. They're not even near him. Look how far away his man is.
Big one there. Nevada needed it. That's their 6th 3 of the game. They're 6 for 20 on the afternoon. And some hope in that band section for Nevada. They only have 1 timeout remaining and 2:13 on the clock.
When that would happen to you when you coach in Division I. These guys are Division I players, but you know there's a guy you'll leave alone, and he hasn't made a shot the whole game. Then he makes one late like this. I turn to myself and say, "You had to make it against us."
Well, you know they brought in Blackshear and Baker to shoot the 3, and Baker actually had a look, passed on it, and Coleman showing some confidence, knocking it out to make it a 4-point game.
Yeah, his man was giving so much help in the lane that they dared him, and he was up for the dare. But they've got to find a way now, Nevada. The pressure's been good. The 1-2-2, I expect them to do that again right now, the 1-2-2 3-quarter court pressure. Because as we said, Boise State, without having that pure point guard, when they get in the half court, though, they've got to keep Kijab out of that lane.
And just remember, we talked about this earlier, but last week in Boise, Nevada was down, made it close at the end. And then on Saturday, at home against San Diego State, Nevada down as many as 18, cut it down to 1. This is a team that does not go away.
And here comes the pressure. And this is more aggressive pressure with a guy on the ball. This is full court man-to-man pressure.
Degenhart to inbound. And Kijab brings it across. Shaver, quick first step all the way to the hoop, and he's rejected, but he gets it back.
You said it, Andrew. He does have a quick first step.
Degenhart sets the screen for Shaver. 6 on the shot clock. Akon has had the hot hand today, looking for more. And it's off the front of the rim, and Blackshear tracks it down and gets hit in the face.
That's a common foul. He was trying to get the ball.
Nevada wants him, wants the crew to take a look as Kijab commits his 3rd foul, and Blackshear is still down.
Yeah, I can see them taking a look. I don't think it needs to be looked at because he was clearly going for the ball. Yeah, I mean, he was clearly going for the ball. I mean, that's a basketball play.
They will take a look.
I think that's a situation where they could have passed on looking at it because I think it was clear that he tried to smack the ball up and he hit the kid in the face.
Another look.
You see, right, I mean, he is going for the ball. And unfortunately, he hit Blackshear in the face. I mean, if this comes back as a flagrant 1, I'll be really surprised.
A reminder, winner of this one takes on Wyoming or UNLV in tomorrow's semis. That game coming up next on CBS Sports Network. Clearly, this is not a no-brainer for the crew. They are taking a long time to look at this one. And now they're going to huddle up again.
Wow, I guess there's a question. I don't think there should be a question. That kid was not trying at all to hit Blackshear in the face. There's no way. Wow. Yeah, I mean.
There we go. We're going to get the call right here at the table.
We got F1 on the play with a slap in the face. F1.
Wow. There it is. Flagrant 1 because of the slap in the face, and you're surprised.
I am shocked. I don't think that's a good call personally, I got to tell you. Was that avoidable and unnecessary? I mean, he's going for the ball. You got me on that one. That's a huge call. 2 shots in the ball.
I don't think anybody thinks that Kijab did it intentionally.
No. Do you think that was a flagrant one?
I think it was forceful enough where it brings it into the conversation.
Yeah, I really did not. That kid was swiping for the ball.
I agree with that. I agree with that. And you could tell.
Was that avoidable? I don't think it was avoidable. If you're going for the ball, how could you avoid hitting him in the face? It was 2 free throws.
How about that?
That was 2 huge misses.
A 76% free throw shooter, Keenan Blackshear. And he's had a miserable day, only 3 points on 1 of 7 shooting.
I mean, he had a chance to cut this thing with the ball. And you know this kid's going to do some pick and roll here. He's very good with the pick and roll, Sherfield.
Trying to get to the hoop. Now the step back and off the mark. Cambridge the putback. And we've got a 2-point game.
And here's that pressure again. It's been Shaver and Kijab.
Kijab on the wing, defended by Cambridge.
Size advantage.
Kijab up, no good, and the rebound is grabbed by Nevada. 1 minute to go. The number 8 seed looking to pull the upset here in the Mountain West quarterfinals.
That's got to be some foul in there. A lot of hands.
Sherfield, baseline on Aycock, and he's rejected. Good defense by Boise State.
Well, you don't have to foul. You're going to get it back with 10 seconds if you can get a stop.
10-second difference.
Foul.
Steve Alford saying, back up, play defense.
That was really good defense by Boise State on Grant Sherfield. And your Boise State, you got to hold this thing. You got to get a rebound here if you're Nevada.
5 to shoot. Kijab in the corner. Shaver 3. Won't go. Rebound Cambridge. 10 seconds left.
You should keep attacking with them not set.
Blackshear for 3. No good. Rebound Boise State. And that's it. The Broncos survive. Blackshear had a great look, but he finishes his afternoon 1 out of 8. And the Broncos are moving on to the semifinals.
You could not get a better shot, and I agree with Steve Alford. Great job not calling timeout here. He's got Boise State scrambling, and boy, you can't get. They didn't need a 3, that 2 would have tied the game, but they got a wide open one. And boy, you couldn't have gotten a better shot off in that situation, without a doubt. A 36% three-point shooter. Not a guy who can't make them, a guy who can make them. And he didn't make that one.
Update the bracket. The top-seeded Broncos move on to the semifinals against the winner of our next game between Wyoming and UNLV. Evan is with Emmanuel Aycock.
Emmanuel, from the start of this game, Nevada looked like a team that wanted to come out of here with an upset. What was required to get this win?
A lot of hard effort. We know they're a great team. They beat us 3 times last year, so we just knew we had to come out focused, knew we had to be really determined to win this game, and I'm glad we came out with the W.
You were close to a career day offensively, especially early in this game. What was your mentality to try and get your team back in this one?
I was just, going with the flow of the game. I came out aggressive, and my shots went in. My teammates set me up terrific, so got to give a big shout-out to them.
Congrats on the win. We'll see you tomorrow.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, Evan, thank you. Boise State wins 71-69. For Steve Lapis, Evan Washburn, our entire crew, I'm Andrew Catalan. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. We'll be back soon with UNLV in Wyoming, but for now, we send you to New York. Inside College Basketball Bracket Week presented by Kubota. Here's Brent and the crew.